Somebody out there probably caught me. Hey, I'm working in not full screen in Photoshop. Command 0, take my file up, so my document up, so it fills the screen. Now I'm going to switch over to Illustrator. And go ahead and lock that background because we don't want to select that on accident. I'm going to select the glasses and copy them. Then move over to Photoshop and paste them. Command V. It's going to drop. I can't paste in place. Photoshop's not going to know where this was. Now, you have a bunch of choices. Smart objects. The idea is we want smart objects. We want editable text information. So I'm going to drag this up, and I'm going to hold down Shift as I drag so I constrain it so it stays in the center of the screen, right? And we can place it here. Nothing is going to happen while you have this X. You can try to do all kinds of stuff. Nothing's going to work until you hit return to commit that smart object. Now it says vector smart object. How about if we're smart and say glasses? Huh? That makes sense? You know, or image, or you name yours, whatever it is. Then we're going to switch back over to Illustrator. I'm going to select that text. We got something goofy there. We'll talk about that later. We're not going to pretend it's not there right now. Command C. It's there for a reason. Command V drops in the center. It's a smart object. I click OK. And we can move this down a bit. But this time I'm going to resize this. I think it's a little small. So I'm going to grab a corner. And I'm not going to just start dragging and stretch the pizza. Hold down Shift so I constrain it. But I'm also going to hold down Option so it stays in the center of the screen. Right? And because it's a smart object, I'm going to hit return. Because it's a smart object, I can continue to resize this without any degradation. It's because it's all vector artwork. Okay, so we'll call this title. And the last thing, and this is not positioned correctly. And you notice we got something weird going on there, but we don't worry about that right now. I'm going to come back over to Illustrator, grab my text down here, copy it, go over to Photoshop, Command V, Smart Object, yeah, and this time carefully selecting. I'm going to move this down, once again holding Shift, and position this not quite so low on the page as it was before, maybe a little bit lower. You can see I'm with the Move tool right here. Oh, we're going to place this, say place, with the Move tool and the layer selected. We can use the arrow keys, up arrow just to nudge a little bit, but Shift arrow nudges a lot more. Okay, and position that. I'm going to move Lord of the Flies down a little bit. And now we've got our three elements on this page. They're not positioned correctly and not visually centered either. They went mathematically on the screen. Now we talked about visual center versus actual center, and we're going to have to do a little adjustment here. I'm not going to go through too much of that in the video. I'll let you do it off screen while this video renders. I'm going to reposition this stuff, and then we'll get to the next step.